Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Connection and Home is Within You. Here is a safe place, a judgment-free place where your truth is acknowledged and shame is banned, and we work not only to extinguish it within ourselves, but in being that and in doing that, we stand tall so that outside systems stop shaming those that suffer from mental health issues, addiction, alcoholism, and chronic pain. Home is Within You is a title that evolved through a writing process that eventually resulted in a memoir. It was recently acquired by Girl Friday Books and will be re-released in spring of 2023. In the meantime, here on Sundays, I will be offering these live healing chats. Here is where, if you are struggling, you can let me know, and together we will hold space for you. Also, on Fridays, I am doing spiritual advocacy, which are discussions with my oldest son, as well as professionals, about how when we can tap into the truth of what we are, and that is love, light, and warmth, and a safe place within ourselves, we can stand strong when we are in the system, when we are publicly branded and shamed. We can stand strong in knowing the truth of what we really are. And through that, the system will hopefully change and treat families and people like whole human beings. I'm so happy to be back. Throughout my journey of recovery, there are many different tools that I learned and many different professionals that I worked with because my diseases are complicated. I have used the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous, a sponsor, and the support of a fellowship. Sometimes I'm good at that, at using them. Sometimes I'm not. I go to a meeting every day, but I often find it difficult to still reach out for help. And while my longtime sponsor recently passed away a few months ago of COVID, and I have a new sponsor, it still is hard to reach out for help, but I do my best. I also used a therapist, one that introduced me to A Course in Miracles, that truly helped me to understand that I am not a body nor the thoughts my mind makes, that I am just as the Creator created me, and that nothing that has happened in this physical life has ever changed the fact that I am, that you are, infinite beings, whole, perfect, and complete, no matter how odd and awkward that word perfect sounds. We are an infinite form. So in addition to the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous and A Course in Miracles, I also found Kundalini Yoga and the beautiful, beautiful teachings of Priya Jain at 7th Chakra Yoga Institute of Spiritual Sciences. Through various trainings from level 1 to 3 level 2s, currently being in the Authentic Relationships level 2 training, I also did a master's course in the Japji language. And that practice has helped me so very much to return to a home within me of truth, where I can calm my thoughts, and where most importantly, I am able to use my breath to find calm, to create my own sense of safety through my breath. Now that leads me to the final work that I had to do and that I still do every day. And that is the trauma work. I definitely would say that over recent years, and especially over the last month, I have had to be vigilant in getting myself back to utilizing the skills that I learned in trauma work. A few months ago, I was hit the second time with COVID. I am allergic to the vaccine, and my body has a full body seizure anaphylactic reaction, and it is an awful experience. I got meningitis, and it was a terrible experience. I recovered physically, but I don't think that I really understood how detached it made me from that home within. Now, here I am trying to point the finger at an outside health issue that got me off balance, and that may be true. But what I have learned is that when we grow up as children with secure attachment, with healthy attachments, we know that when we are scared, when we are in fear, that we can run to a parent, that we can safely run to others and will not be rejected, no matter what we are doing. When we don't have that as children, what I learned is that I created these parts in me, these different parts that pop up, and they fall into flight, fight, freeze, and fawn. I know this. I learned this. But when in the depths of it, it is very hard to recognize. And so I just returned from being gone 10 days in the Sonora Mountains in a little quaint town called Twain Harte, where the father of my children would go as a child. And we continued that tradition after our divorce. Prior to the divorce with our oldest when he was 3, and then continued after the divorce, and then after we had twins while separated. And so I just returned from our annual summer trip. And I was triggered there. But I also had a really difficult time the weeks prior. I know that when I am becoming close to somebody, that I really, really, really have to keep my routine, my spiritual grounding, and my boundaries in place. And like a little girl with the individual that I was getting very close to and who I love, I was like a little girl, so joyous and free to finally be experiencing life as a normal person. Cooking together, taking walks together, boogie boarding, really feeling treasured, held, and cherished, mutually supportive of each other, and more. And what ended up happening was I faltered in my own grounding and in being that for myself. And through a variety of things that happened, I ended up pushing that person away. Now, I understand now, reflecting back on that, why I did that. I did believe that that person understood. And so in the depths of the heartache, what I was doing with my behavior was calling out for It was a cry for love. It was a cry to be held. It was a cry to be reminded, Nadia, you are safe. You are loved. Your words right now, I know you don't mean to hurt me. Right now, I'm just going to hold you. That's what I needed. However, I cannot expect another person to be able to read through those behaviors. It was another reminder that I, and only I, and you, and only you, can provide that safety for yourself, within yourself. To be able to be vulnerable with another, we must be able to be vulnerable alone with our own feelings. I've had the blessing of being on a panel with the Trauma Research Foundation with the author of the book, The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel van der Kolk, as well as Richard Schwartz. And that book describes how, when we have experienced trauma as a child, especially, and also as an adult, how our body somatically, our body reacts. The beauty of having done all of this work and now being a mother and seeing when my children go through these things is that when I am grounded and that when I have that safety within me, I can use those tools in the moments when they are in their fight, flight, freeze mode, when their body has completely taken over. I am able to help them with their breath to find calm, no matter how long a tantrum or an emotional outbreak might be. And so recently, in my own personal experience, call it codependency, it was definitely prior trauma rearing its ugly head. And I can only pray that the person that I'm talking about will see the big picture and be loving. Yet again, I'm the only one that can do that for me. After finding my way back in my own grounding and going on this trip with my ex-husband and 3 sons. Now, we are never together, my ex-husband and I, 24/7, ever. It's pick up, drop off, and we co-parent very, very well. For us to challenge each other to be together 24/7 is a lot, but we successfully do it every year. And so over the last 10 days that I was away, I literally just got back. Our children, it was super hot. Their schedule was a tad off. We had a wonderful time. But there was one incident where one of the twins really, really struggled. His twin brother kept sticking his tongue out and teasing him. They had been playing inside, and one of them kept saying, "Stop, stop," and the other one just kept doing it back. And so I told Harrison, just walk away, just walk away. And Eli continued to taunt him, and Harrison continued to confront him. And eventually, after about 15 minutes of this, it got to a point where Harrison got so upset, he started, throwing things at Eli. And so thus, the behavioral issue shifts from the one taunting to the one throwing, which really hurt Harrison's heart. So in the midst of all of this, Harrison ends up opening the door and deciding he's going to take a hike up barefoot in these bushes that have pricklies in them. He's very upset, and he keeps saying, go away to me and his older brother, Diego. We're trying to keep him safe. And he starts throwing things. And then when we get close, he starts hitting us. And dear Harrison, let me tell you, Harrison is a gentle, gentle, gentle soul. I call him my gentle giant. Whenever I see any one of my sons, mainly the twins, not Diego, I've never seen him like this. When I see one of the twins in this mode and in this state, I am so grateful for the moments that I am fully present, and I am so grateful for my sobriety and my own trauma work that I have done. We knew he needed to walk away. We knew he needed to yell. And so what was said was, it's okay you're mad. It's okay you're upset. Punch the pillow. I literally had a couch pillow in my hand. Not me, not your brother. Yell at the top of your lungs. And we yelled with him. This went on for about an hour. And by the time we were able to get him inside, he continued to kick, and it was just holding him in a safety hold and telling him, I love you. I love you. It's okay you're mad. Yell. Punch the pillow. I love you. You're okay. You're safe. Isn't that all what we want? I kept breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth, and Diego was there, and he said, Mom, can you please help with help? I don't know how to, help with the calming of his body. And so with Diego there, holding his little brother, he wanted to be part of this process. And I said, you don't have to do this. We all breathed together, holding Harrison. And eventually Harrison fell asleep. Now, it's not as though outbursts or hurts or pain like this that we often witness in each other. I was the same a couple weeks prior to that with my age versus a 6.5-year-old. Just wanting to be held, wanting to feel safe. It has to start with the body, calming the body, calming the parasympathetic system and all the neurons in our brain that will send all the parts that I referred to earlier, the protector mode, the fight, flight, and freeze and modes. It is only with breath that I have learned that I can find safety in my own body, let alone even dream of having that from another human being. And so if I can teach my sons how to use their breath to create that home within of safety and calm, to be able to push through it, push just through the physical response I will be one happy mama. It will take time because I'm learning still to do it for myself. And so I want to open this up here. Hi, everyone. If anyone here is needing space to be held, is needing your truth to be told, is needing me to say screw shame to the shame that's in your head or to any system that might be shaming you, any outside source, let me be your advocate. You are not a body nor the thoughts your mind makes. And I'm here to hold space for you. So I'm going to leave this open here. And we are going to close after some moments here with one of my absolute favorite mantras in Kundalini Yoga, which I will put in the comments after this video is posted. And it is Pavan Guru. Pavan, 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 Pavan. Par, para, Pavan. Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru. Breath of the divine from beyond the beyond. Breath is my teacher. Oh, the divine breath. It's a very simple mantra. And I encourage you actually to look up the version of Pavan, Pavan by Ajit Kaur. This isn't her version because my computer is not connecting to Apple right now. But this is a beautiful version that I'm going to play right now, okay? As we do a short meditation. Prior to that, you can wrap your hands together and place them on your heart. And take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, and then letting that breath fully out. Breathing like we did naturally as a baby. Instead of going, fill the belly up. And then let it fully out. And continue with that breath. In through the nose. And an audible out. Just knowing that every time you're feeling that tense anxiety, stand or sit where you are and just breathe deeply. I am safe. I am grounded. And this is a home within me. Please join me with this short song. Hi, Big Mama. Tasmanian Cowboy. Victor. Sam. Breathing deeply.
Let us feel the vast ocean and know God's devotion.
Your breath
To love
can calm you.
with our love for our love.
There's a home within you.
Rise above.
Shall rise above.
To love with our love for our love. We shall rise above.
We shall rise above those times of anxiety. Pavanguru is the divine breath. Let it calm your body, and then you can hear your feelings.
My
Breathing deeply in.
to love with our love for our love. We shall rise above to love with our
Love.
for our love. We shall rise above with our love.
Pavanguru, the divine breath.
We shall rise above.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Hey, thank you for joining. I encourage you to listen to the recording of this. Please message me should you need space held for you or with any questions. If you want to talk directly, I'm sending a load of love and hugs, banning shame wherever it might be, if it's inside you, if it's outside you. Screw shame and know that you are whole, perfect, and complete just as you are. You're right where you are on your path for a reason. I love you and I'm here for you. Please join me on Friday at noon with my oldest son, Diego. Sign up for the newsletter and communicate with me, okay? I love you. Sending hugs.